wiper. No. Ah. Right, that is the grains collected. I'll deal with them later. My next job on the, oh my goodness, it's nearly Christmas, better get on with it, to-do list is water troughs. So we've just got to hope, well, one, that the digger starts, and two, that we can dig down to the mains water pipe without splitting it, flooding the place. I think it's going to go. I don't think it's... See? See? I knew it! Good stuff. So the plan is to install 2 water troughs temporarily. One's going to remain on a pallet, because what I want to do is put them on hard standing, just a small area that is, you know, whacked crushed concrete or whatever that isn't going to get churned up. So we're going to do one temporary one up in the paddock, and then one down on the outside of the pig pen for the hill field. So if you remember, in year 1 we ran a 25mm water pipe down from the incoming supply in the top corner of the veg garden down the edge of our paddock, and that then supplies all the fields. Now, when I dug that, I didn't really think that I was going to put a trough up here, but I am. So I'm now going to dig down to where we laid it. It didn't go in very deep because it's the one that I did with Joe, and we pulled it through with the Solace tractor that we were borrowing. I don't think it got much deeper than maybe a foot. It should be around here. There's no dip, but there is a bit of a dip here. Could it be this far out? Now either we're worryingly close to that fencing, which would be a good place for it, but equally surprised we didn't smash through it with the fence post, or we're way further out. I don't think we're deeper than that. I have to get digging. Don't know if I just recorded that. We got it. It's a bit deeper than I thought. So there it is, unscathed. We'll dig into there. I'm going to clear out a load, put it in a T, and then I'll run a pipe back here and swing it up. In the end, I'm going to come up closer to the fence because I'm going to have this 90 degrees. That way, any pipe work coming up, I can insulate a bit and it won't be reachable by any livestock. Right, now the fun bit. Should probably drain it somewhere else further down the field, but that'd be boring, wouldn't it? I don't know what they're like long term, but they seem pretty decent. I've been buying everything from pipe stock online, pipe and fittings, and they're about maybe half the price of farm merchants and Screwfix and everything else, so seems decent enough, made in Italy. Right, let's get some stiffies. The cow is bulling today, which basically means she is, well, horny, and she is just mounting anything. Sheep, gateposts, and of course the next door got a bull, so although we could have gone that route, we're actually going to wait. She needs to be put back in calf, but we'll wait till 3 weeks time when I can be more organised, and I might see if we can get a pure Gloucester AI for her. Otherwise we'll just have whatever's going, I guess, or even ask next door. Okay, so what am I doing? That's going to go in there. It's going to go there. Go a bit deeper there. Oh, don't get your bits dirty, Tim. Oh, got dirty bits now. Okay, pretty good. Gone and done it. So the idea is that we can disconnect it in the spring, cut this to height, get it up nice and plumb, and we know we've still got, because this will be lower, this will be down on some stone. For now, I think we can get a good bend on that. Right, that is one done. Can we get the other one done before lunch? I think we can. Do the other one, then we'll come up and test it. I think that's okay. Kind of a long sweeping bend up into there. These come with all the fittings. Basically what you got, I went for concrete. I mean, time will tell, but they can't get rolled over by pigs, which is a huge plus, or by cows, I guess, because unless you've got a huge steel tank, trough, then they can be pushed over quite easily. So these ones, these are about 100 kilo or more actually, and we'll just see if, I mean, I can't see anything that's going to happen to them. I don't think they're going to get damaged by frost, and they're plenty big enough for 2 cows. These fill up pretty quick. We've got a double big one down in the bottom field for the summer, but basically, and they're the same price. Some places are more, but you get a rubber bung which goes in there. I have seen these are weeping on the other one, so it's worth checking, otherwise you're going to have a slow leak for ages. But it just means that every once in a while, especially with the pigs, I just get a stick, pop it out and drain it out. So we'll make sure that this is slightly lower, so we've got a bit of a fall on it. So that's only on one side, whereas the inlet I should say, can be on either side. But like I said, I'm going to swing it round, then I think we can bring up the pipe really tight to here, and it's out of the way of nosy noses. Let's do a quick midwife maternity check. Look, you've got to be close now, haven't you, girl? I'm sorry, that's a bit mean, that's not food, that's a load of pipe fittings. Let's have a look at you. She, for someone who's, oh hang on, stay still. Excuse me, I'm just trying to check your boobs. Yeah, they're bigger today. Good girl. I still don't think they're, well, they're nothing like what Edna had. She was bulging. These are still pretty soft. And because she's pretty fat at the moment, you can't see, you have these ligaments either side of the tail. They go floppy just before they calve, a bit like in the goats, but she's got these fat chunky bits here that I can't really feel. So I've now bought 4 of these single troughs and 2 doubles. There's a double down here, but just plonked it there so it was out of the way. I can get forks under it with the tractor, but I really need to be able to do that in dry weather. So what I've got is that pipe that we just teed into comes through this hedge here in that dip, and what have I done? It sweeps around now, goes off down to the other fields. So this one here is a tee that comes up, which is in place for this trough. And same again, I've just put this on bearers so it can stay here for the time being. This is just rainwater, or I filled it up manually. But what I need to do is put a tee above ground, because I've got a temporary one here that goes through to that single one in muddy mud face over there where the pigs are, and they've chewed that because I turned it off last night. It's just the weight of the water left in that pipe. It's amazing how much water is held in 25mm pipe. Whinge, whinge, whinge. You can't help yourself, can you, mate? I think we've done it. We've got a bigger overground bit that's bound to freeze towards the pigs, but nothing's going to move. He didn't help one bit, just got in the way, and we're not tilting towards our plug, but again, this is temporary. Let's go turn it on and see how much leaking there is. Well, I've just gone to turn the stopcock off, and some blasted rodents have been in there, haven't they? And filled the whole thing up with soil. Opportunist mole, rat. Oh, damn it. Oh. Okay, crack on. I think all our hedging is surviving up here. It's a bit overgrown, but this rowan tree's doing well. Oh well, I can hear water everywhere. That's probably because there's troughs down there filling up, so we need everything to be filled up and satisfied really before we can test anything. I'll let them flush through later. Hopefully the chickens will get up here and drink from there as well. That's one less thing to fill up. Which means really the only trough that needs to be filled up manually every morning is pigs in there, who just are doing everything possible to escape. Can't see any leaking, but we haven't got any pressure yet. It's amazing, these do actually hold quite a bit. I think they say they're 40 gallons. That can't be right, can it? Maybe 20 on these. But by the time that's up to wherever you set it to, you've got almost the same amount in there. It's not a small amount of water. It's bigger than the little metal ones that we've got. And they just get flipped over. I think the last one I had to bend down quite a bit. Gonna go. Put a bend in before it spills. It's still a bit high. That's probably because we're on a... Yeah, let's put more bend. Okay, so we got no leaking there, and we can always tighten that up. Our plug's not weeping. That is just, we'll sort that. And then down here, I think we're weeping out a little bit. Let's tighten them up, nip them all up a bit. All right, we're live. This one's looking better. Plug's holding, water level's good. And that is at height. So that's the end of the giant saucepan. Trough. That's good. They can nibble that, but it's only the sheep in here most of the time, so that'll be alright. And it looks like that. I mean, that definitely needs cleaning out, but not going to get to that bung anytime soon. I put one of these stock blocks out 2 days ago. They've gone nuts for it. It's nearly all gone. Just minerals. It's fish oil and minerals, so they don't need to have crazy amounts of energy like you would give them before lambing, but they love it. You all love it, don't you? It's only a small job, I know, but that is a massive result getting those troughs done, because I can't tell you how frustrating it is not having decent water supplies in all the fields. I thought I was getting close to it, but the winter fields were the ones that needed it the most. Right, it's time to see if pregnant mama wants to play ball. She does not like walking on stone, so we'll see how this goes. Hold on, let me grab the camera. Okay. Oh, wiper. No. Come on. Good girl.
Maggie, stop sitting in a bum.
Go on, lots of hay and warm places up there.
You don't want to come?
Good girl.
You're the best cow. On,
just let go if she pulls you.
Oh, I will.
Go on. Good girl. Up, up, up. Good girl. Good girl. Well done. That's the building site. That was the old hay on the floor. You don't have to eat that. Hopefully that's contained enough. We've got 2 of these big cow gates, which ideally in the future will be on 2 of these bays up here. We don't really want to put livestock up here apart from the odd occasion like this. But the idea for next year is to put a mezzanine, like a hay loft in here, because if you look at the height of this thing, wasted space. So if we can keep all the hay, we've got enough steels and joists left over now from the build that we could put a hay loft above, and then we've kind of got a 8-foot space underneath. Next job, fix a puncher. So this weekend on Saturday we're gonna have a go at some of these fallen trees that have been coming down in the storms. So I've got to go and get the chainsaws ready and just check everything over now. But that's one reason I'm definitely near the truck, because it can probably get where the tractor can't at this time of year. Mind you, we can take the tractor down the track. We'll just leave it on the track and see what we can do there. The other option is I just stack all the firewood on the higher ground. I just don't want to go to the effort of cutting all these logs, stacking them up, and then a flood happen in a few weeks time, wash all our hard work away. So as long as I know they're above the waterline, we'll be all right. So regardless of if you've got land or a big garden or just a small little shed and workshop, you'll be familiar with those times when you've got a task, something to repair, but you just get used to living with it. And basically that's my life here. But one of those things has been that I've got a screw in that tyre and I pump it up every 2 days for the last probably 2 months. And I'm just going to get on and try and repair it. These are the tyres which we're running, which are a mud terrain tyre from Yokohama. Between these and all-terrain tyres, I mean, it's just a huge difference. The first tyres we had on here were okay, but they did get stuck. They just clogged up with mud. Whereas these, I guess it's how these blocks are formatted and laid out. The mud just flies out. However, somehow a screw has snuck through on the front tyre. We've been running these fairly low for grip down the track, but still yet to get stuck, apart from when I actually got stuck. But that was nothing to do with the tyres, more to do with fencing and the driver. But such is the nature of living on a building site. That screw there has been living in there for a couple of months now. It's got to come out. I was kind of surprised that a screw even got past all these treads. Right, we have a pokey thing, a pushy thing, some rubbery bits. Oh, I hope you never get that many punches. And instructions. Remove foreign objects. Insert spiral tool into hole and slide up and down to roughen. Let's do that then. Excuse the heavy breathing. Okay. Well, we can only but try. Take the applicator, insert string into the eye of the needle. Now this doesn't say anything about using the rubber glue, but I bought the rubber glue and I don't know why I did. I feel like it's a good thing to try, but maybe it doesn't need to be used. Right, so we want to put that through there. There ain't no way that's getting in that hole. With that, we are pushing into the hole and then rapidly pulling out, which probably opens up those jaws just enough to leave this in there. Question is whether we squirt a bit of glue in there as well. I say more the merrier. Might even lubricate it. Oh man, I'm meant to be checking for 2/3. That's not even gone in yet. Oh, well, That's gone in too far. Damn it. Why do I feel like we actually broke the string then? We broke the string. That feels better. So this is why I think it's shearing through. Oh, so it's done it again. Well, the camera might have packed up on me, but that worked. Got to ream it out more, bung loads of the glue in there, push it through, and then whip it out. And then we cut those off. I recently picked up these. This is the ring feeder, obviously. But I'm actually going to use them as a creep area for the piglets. February we are due to have 2 if not 3 litters of piglets, so these upturned fixed to the wall with the heat lamp on the other side means the piglets can get through safely. Last time, I think, or 2 deliveries ago, we just used an IBC, which works okay, but they're just a little bit more substantial as some of our pigs are a bit destructive. There you go, Danny. Alright, penultimate job is this goat. We just threw him in the truck and brought him down. He was born with the worst genetics for feet. Because of that, he's never been big enough to go to the butchers, and he's never been healthy enough to sell. His mother had the same sort of problem, and he's just, anyway, he is what he is, and he is really lame on his back foot. Leave Max. And it's just horrible. Foot rot. He's been treated, well, he's just constantly sorting him out, really. Hopefully, well, he's gonna have to stay in for the winter now. That back foot is looking dodge. It's split and horrible. Okay, leave. Good boy, we're going in. You can go in the dry. Really, him and Buddy need to be in for the winter now, because Buddy's just being a nuisance. I think he even knows where he's going as well. He's fed up of, even though he had a half-acre paddock to himself with 1 other sheep, he's just wants to live a life of luxury. Right, I've cleaned everything off, trimmed them as much as I need to, or as much as I can. It's had antibiotics and Metacam. I've sprayed his feet, and hopefully on dry ground he should be better in a week or 2. There's 2 things which turn my stomach. One is the smell of a dead rat that you find 2 weeks later, and the other one is foot rot. Oh, everything else I can manage, but whew, poor guy just gets, even with gloves on you can smell it. I'll just show you how I'm getting on at the back here as well, because although it's an absolute mess in here, this is the plan that I've been coming up with. So as you know, this is an old dairy, and because of that, the barn that we're converting into our home had all the cubicles, and each of those cubicles has metal rails, and although I chucked a load of them in a farm sale, there are 6 or 7 that I held back, either because they were scrap or a couple of good ones. So I'll show you what I'm going to do with one of them, which is, so I need to core drill the concrete there so I can drop these 2 in. They obviously used to be quite deep, and then there's holes there to bolt. And I think what I might do, if it feels strong enough, I'll cut this one off, this bar or this pole, just so that there's no poles around where I'm milking. So what I'm hoping is that whether they're coming in from outside or from the actual shed, they can go in there, and I can just have a little chain behind them, like they've always conventionally been milked in a breast parlour. That way I don't have to halter them every time. She can have a trough at the front there, a hay rack to the side, go in, stand there. Calf can be up where that straw bale is, so she can see it. Just means that the milking machine will be over here somewhere. The only danger is, if I don't remove this one, that when you're milking, or putting the cluster on, I'm trying to think how long she is, should be about here. What you don't want is her to kick. She's not a kicker, fortunately, but you don't want a cow to kick and trap your arm between her foot and a pole, something that won't move, because that's what hurts. No need for putting her on a halter, moving her around. And where we had her before, she was able to move around a bit more, whereas here she'll feel contained, and hopefully she'll be happier as well. Right, Macy boy is in there, and she's going to get him a bucket of water, and we'll see how he does over the next week or so. You're in there for Christmas, mate, I'm afraid. There is a salt lick. Where's your salt lick? What I was going to show you though, it's getting a bit gloomy back here. This here eventually got to the stage where I can start mucking out. I'm about half the way through it, so much. This is the deep litter where we had the goats first, then we had some sheep in here, just for short term, and then we had the pigs in here for a couple of months. And it is now the best compost. It's not even composted, I guess, but the stuff right at the bottom is so fine, it almost looks like you could put that straight on a lawn or a garden, or on the field. Obviously the stuff at the top from the pigs needs a bit of maturing. So what I've done is I've decided to muck out, well, I've got to muck out manually until these walls are gone. But I treated myself to a humongous wheelbarrow. What does it say? 10 cubic feet. I mean, it is massive. But the best I could come up with is to barrow it out to here. Then I'll digger it into the dumper and pile it up down in the field. Because there's no point in me trekking miles at a time with a small mini dumper or a wheelbarrow or anything like that. I'll have a mid station collecting point. Excuse me, coming through. You were meant to all be sold by Christmas. Right, we need to hang this up higher. 1, 2, 3. That gets hung up there. Hopefully rat resistant when it's that high, as long as my baling twine sticks around. The rats can't jump up, and we're hoping that they don't go in from the top. I've got a webcam, I've never seen them do it, so. Right, last job is water for hyssop. Right, you can't see me, but my last job was successful. Managed to get the water in, and also rigged up our spare CCTV camera to the corner. I think you can just about, it's not a PTZ, you can't move it around, but it covers most of the area, so we're all good, we're all covered.